We are live. We are live. We are back. And we are taking up S 220, no, 204. I'm ahead of myself. An act relating to electric ratepayer assistance and utility disconnection. And today we're going to hear from Carol Flint from the Department of Public Service. And then we will hear from Greg Faber when he gets here from the PUC. I'm going to have the utilities in, and I'm trying to think maybe we will have the Office on Aging or AARP, somebody come in and talk to us about what they're seeing issues and what they are. So Carol, welcome. You know the routine.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Madam Chair and committee members, thank you for providing the opportunity to testify. Again, I'm Carol. I serve as the Director of Consumer Affairs and Public Information with the department. Regarding this bill, the Vermont Energy Equity Law, Senator Rebecca White indicated that its stated purpose was to address energy affordability within the context of Vermonters facing an 11% energy burden. We, the department, are focused on affordability. The department is actively helping Vermonters reduce bills through efficiency efforts and to reduce costs for ratepayers moving forward. There are efforts underway to help utilities save money and avoid costs. I wanted to offer that my colleague TJ Core, with the department's planning division, could come in and talk about those efforts as well if you're interested in additional information on our efforts around affordability broadly. Disconnections increased by about 31% between April of 2022 and April of 2025. I wanted to put those dates in because that statistic had been shared previously.
Okay, but we had a ban on disconnects, right, during COVID.
We did a ban on disconnects, and if you look at disconnections for 2021, and then you can see the spike from 2022 to 2025. So there were disconnections from 2022. So 85% of the disconnections that occurred during that period of time, when I did quick, simple math, were then reconnected within 15 days. So these are definitely disconnections for non-payment, and people then do make efforts to try to get their accounts reconnected.
Okay, if we have limits, you can't disconnect if there's a medical device, right? There are restrictions.
There are significant consumer protections in Vermont. The rule is a rule, the residential disconnection rule 3.3 that protects consumers. And that rule provides protections, again, as you indicated, from medical notes. So if someone has a serious illness, they can seek and then medical note or physician's note from their care provider and forestall a disconnection for 1 month and then repeat it for a second consecutive month. Beyond that, if there were extenuating circumstances, they could appeal to the Public Utility Commission for additional relief from that disconnection effort. There are payment arrangements. People can make payment arrangements. It's the bread and butter of my team's work is to help people with talking to their utility and working out payment arrangements. There are other protections around notice. Notice is required. And that's been a long-standing factor to these long-standing consumer protection.
Sandra. Thank you. So just looking at the bill, in section 2, paragraph 2A, it added language about a physician's certificate certifying that a ratepayer would suffer immediate or serious health hazard, and requires the department commission to amend Rule 3.3. The way you just described it, something like this is already in place.
That's correct.
So have we seen a copy of Rule 3.3 yet? I'm wondering if someone could provide it to us so we could see what's actually in.
If you email that,
That would be helpful, because I'm not sure why this is added if it's already in there?
I'm
Is
not-
this, you think is redundant?
I'm not sure either. I don't think Bill exactly in front of me, so I'd like to do that, but the language looked like to me, like there was some attention needed, but I couldn't tell
Okay.
what was driving
And
that.
maybe it's not covering everything, and then there's not language in the rule right now about extreme heat, is there?
There is not language, in the rule about extreme heat, and I'm gonna talk about that. in
Okay,
just a
sure.
minute. So I'll get there.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. So one of the things I did want to point out is the number of disconnections that were disconnected for arrearage is greater than $301 past due, and that 301 is an artifact of the reporting requirement. So did increase by 37% between April 24 and April 5. So we're seeing increases on the higher end of this section movings. Last September, in case number 25-0443 PT, which resulted in the energy burden report that was provided to you all last week. The department did recommend that the Public Utility Commission ask the legislature, among many other recommendations, authorize the commission to investigate and, as may be appropriate, implement a statewide low-income rate programs. We're generally supportive, but within parameters of what you get into those details in a second. Prior to implementing a program, the department strongly believes that additional analysis is needed. We suggest the committee consider providing a year to perform that analysis, and if the analysis determines that a program is warranted, then program design and development could be addressed in the following year. Determining which structures are most appropriate for Vermont will require further investigation on a number of issues, and some of the questions that we have is what discount level will offer meaningful impact to customers with low incomes without shifting too much burden to customers who do not qualify for the program. So paying attention to that benefit cliff, which I'm sure you hear discussed about programs consistently, and what guardrails should be in place to provide balance. How would we address revenue shortfalls associated with the program? How would they be recovered statewide or utility specific jurisdictions? Small customers or just those who do not qualify for the program? Is there a specific threshold for electric burden that the rates should be striving to achieve? And if so, what should that target be? Should it be linked to energy burden or something such? How to adjust discount levels over time to account for electrification of the thermal and transportation sectors and the associated increased role the electric sector will play in determining total energy burden for customers. Whether discount rates should apply to an entire bill or just a portion of the bill, i.e. the minimum amount needed to fulfill basic needs versus some buffer to encourage conservation. What is the best way to manage a program to ensure that eligible participants actually do participate? So a comprehensive review of existing programs and energy policy is warranted to assess program efficacy, potential synergies between programs, points of under and over subscription, cost effectiveness, and barriers. We think that examining the costs of state energy policies could also help to identify potential funding sources that might be reallocated to address energy aversion.
And we have your report.
You have the PUCs, you have my testimony.
What have your test?
Yes.
Yes, it'd be very helpful if we send a drafter out to draft something. To have your recommendations. Okay.
Absolutely. So without performing this analysis, we could see some unfortunate, unintended, and disparate outcomes that could exacerbate the affordability crisis for some, and maybe only provide modest benefits for those most in need. So we're just asking for a thoughtful approach. So we do recommend the further investigation of the statewide funding source. I'll probably say that 4 times. Just be sure that we can best assist low-income customers with their electric bills. I do have a couple of comments about S204, and then let's get into the extreme heat conversation, and also income eligibility thresholds. The department has been supportive of curtailing disconnections during periods of extreme heat because of concerns for vulnerable Vermonters. In the past, how we've handled that is that we've asked electric utilities to voluntarily hold off on disconnects during heat waves, and this has been successful. So without rule promulgation, we just ask, they cooperate, it's fine. They generally will tell me when we make that ask, they have no intentions of shutting people off during the heat wave. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency offers that extreme heat could be defined in a variety of ways and could vary based upon a region's particular climate. So heat feels different in Vermont than it feels in the South.
Yeah, 90 is hot here. I used to ride horseback when it was 90 degrees and think nothing of it, but that was Kentucky.
So they have interactive maps which paint scenarios for extremely hot days based upon warming temperature trends. And they count extremely hot days as when the temperature equals or exceeds 95 degrees Fahrenheit. I couldn't find a data set for days that the temperature equaled or exceeded 95 degrees Fahrenheit. But I could find data for Burlington for days the temperature equaled or exceeded 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So between 2015 and 2019, there were 65 days exceeding 90 degrees Fahrenheit. And between 2020 and 25, there were 68 days exceeding 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So that indicates a slight warming trend. I had expected that data to be much more exaggerated. So I thought I'd share that because it was just interesting. So the bill does set income eligibility at 300% of the household federal poverty level. I just want to point back to that need for additional research, in our opinion. I would look to the research and analysis to best set that so that there were some complement to existing programs so that it would be easy to determine eligibility, reduce administrative cost or burden, et cetera. Not that I think 300% is right or wrong, just to hold off on that.
It might be better to do more in a lower percentage if they are getting a higher percentage of disconnect notices.
Certainly, or tie even to a combination of income and energy burden or something else. So I just wanted to emphasize the department shares your concerns about affordability. We're supportive of a program generally, but just want to see some additional research first so we can best target resources. Thank you very much.
If for that additional research, is that a report back from the department? Is that a full scale, hire a consultant to do a major shiny report? Is that a task force? Is that how do you envision getting more information?
It's a great question. And one of the reasons I was hoping Greg would go first. So we haven't talked at all with the PUC, and I can tell you that the department is already working on a review of the 100, maybe more, 100 plus energy programs that are in existence now. So that's a plan that it's probably still in the planning stages, but we're actively engaging in it. And, I would be happy to participate in any work on developing state-level programs. So I can speak for my division, whether or not that work is best suited at the PUC or the department. I have to speak with the commissioner about that to be sure. Okay. What his preferences.
So I think we could say, I'm sure this would not be to hire a consultant would probably cost more.
Exactly. There's a price
To get
difference.
across the street, across the hall. So this, whatever we do may have to be in-house and may end up being some trial and error. If we do anything, so.
So like I said, the department is working on that review of those programs and policies now. And that is an in-house effort. So
Any idea when you want to finish with that?
I think it's going to take several months to there's 100 programs to look at. So
Well, if we're still here, maybe we'll be back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Greg, come on up.
Sure. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. For the record, I'm Greg Paver with QC. I come with good news. We already did the study.
Oh,
In fact, we submitted it on December 1st.
That's what I thought.
Oh, well, there you go.
You
There's
said-
one person reading the study.
I read that study. Yes.
okay.
We've already done it.
I didn't get a notice, so.
It was required by Act 142 in 2024. There's the cover. It's over
Okay.
40
Did
pages
you
long.
send it to?
It's on, I didn't see it on your committee page, but it is on Senate Natural.
It's natural, so if we can get it on our committee page, we can all read it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I would assume it went to your committee, but I didn't see it on the page. Title? What's the title? It is called Act 142 of 2024 Energy Cost Stabilization Study. And it did exactly what Carol was talking about, compared all the existing programs and asked the question whether it would be a good idea to have a statewide low income program. And the answer is no. We don't think it is good to do that. We believe that there's other programs out there already that are doing a better job. I can read a little bit from
Yeah,
the study, just from the executive's summary here, but given the number and variety of low-income energy assistance programs currently available, the commission does not recommend that the legislature create another statewide program. Another part of this is the commission does not recommend requiring utilities to participate in such a program because it would impose an additional burden on all ratepayers, including Vermonters with low and moderate income and those at the eligibility cliff, while providing only a modest benefit to those customers who participate. So basically, you're raising everybody's rates to lower a little bit for just some people.
figured that.
It doesn't make sense. You got weatherization out there. You have a bunch of LIHEAP. There's a bunch of low income programs out there. You could funnel more money into. What's that?
Would like paper if.
Well, at home it's heating oil, so you're looking at
Yeah.
energy burden as a whole.
All right, yeah.
Elec-
that would
Electricity is a
take
very,
off the- Yeah,
yeah, electricity, your electric bill is a very small portion of your overall energy burden, at least in Vermont.
I've had my, yeah, new energy efficient.
Heat
Heat
pumps,
pumps are running
Great,
and,
yeah.
we'll see how efficient, how much they add to my bill.
Yeah, well, you get paid for efficiency, right? Let's see. So overall, if we did this, so we send a report over, we said, we say this is not a good idea. And then we get a bill that says, go forth and do it anyway. So if we went forth and did it, it would require substantial resources. We'd have to hire folks. You're basically asking us to do a statewide social welfare program. We're the PUC, so we'd have to hire people who are expert in that area. It would take a long time, much longer than the 6 months allocated here. It would require substantial appropriations to hire more people. I'm sure that is not forthcoming. I don't see it in the bill. So that's our overall recommendation here. We don't support this at all. The disconnect thing, that's different. That's fine. Basically just adds that in case of hot weather, you can't disconnect it. Well, we already do all that other stuff, positions.
I think they said that they done well asking the utilities, please just don't connect them when it's 95 degrees.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea.
They gotta send a guy out in the 95-degree heat.
We did just revise our disconnection rule though, but we're happy to revise it again. So that's our position.
Thank you. I was confused when she was asked, the previous witness was saying about a report, because I did read this, the report you did. It was
Good.
sent to me in early December. But I was just skimming it again. And so I have two questions for you. Did you make recommendations of what we should do instead of what we shouldn't do?
We absolutely do.
Okay, and so maybe you could just quickly run through those, and then two, that
It's a 40-page report.
I mean, it just, you don't have a
I can give
nutshell?
you like I didn't write the report,
Okay,
but basically it's saying there's a lot of other existing programs out there. You could funnel money to those. That's what we
Okay.
really wanted to do. If you really want to make a dent here, that's the way to go. That's our recommendation.
okay. And then the question I asked earlier about rule 3.3, and you just said you just amended it, is that?
We did. We
Is that
just
the rule?
finished. Yeah, we just finished the rulemaking.
So the question I asked about the medical exemptions, is it already in there?
I believe so. I'd have to really look at the detailed language, but I know we use physician certificates all the time. So I saw that language too, and I was thinking, wait, don't we already do that? So
Okay, and is it, what about the heat?
that is not,
That is
that
not,
would be new.
would you, since it's a PUC rule, not a PSD rule, right?
Right.
Could you send the rule to them?
It's right. It's on our website if you want to look, but I'll
There's
send
a
it.
lot of.
Yeah.
If you could send it to us, that would be,
I'll send the link to.
Yeah.
Sure.
okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I remember the no disconnect medical, and I don't know if it
Yeah.
was when I was on rules or here, but I remember that.
Yeah, I don't know why that's in here. Maybe there's some different wording here that I'm not seeing, but I'll talk to the folks who just did the rule and ask them, but
The new is the heat, but the heat
Yeah,
is
that's
new
that's,
to Vermont.
yeah,
I mean, we've always been worried about freezing,
right.
not overheating, so.
But we always have had physician certificate excuses or whatever we want to call them.
Can't shut off the heart and lung machine.
Right. Or someone's got a pacemaker,
Yeah.
you can't shut it off. So we've already always had that. So I'm not sure what this
What I
is,
saw.
if anything.
But we'll,
And you have it for gas, electric, and water, all three? Okay.
Yeah, it's rule 3.3. And it's been in effect since I can't even remember.
okay.
I'm looking at the report. I did not read it. I'm sorry. We get a lot
No,
of.
it's, yeah,
Thank you for.
like I said, I'm not even sure it's on your.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I don't remember it on the list, but
But I don't see in there, and I'm wondering if it exists anywhere. I'd love to know on the number of disconnects we've been getting on average over like the last 10 or 15 years, and just to see if this increase of late is somewhat related to the pandemic programs that extended or delayed disconnects.
I think,
I could, yeah.
yeah, we
I
just
don't
got
see it
that.
in here.
Uh,
We've gone
Carol.
back past prior to
prior
the
to,
pandemic.
okay.
So you want the number of disconnects over the last?
10, 15 years just to smooth out through the pandemic to know if this major increase in disconnects was just a correction from those extended programs. My heart still goes out for why they're getting disconnected. We need to understand that, but I just want to know if this is an amplifying issue or somewhat just another reflection of the dwindling or winding down of federal programs that were put up during the pandemic.
Okay, you're going to get that info for you.
Mary, I thought your information said you'd seen another spike between 24 and 25. Please focus, okay. We will get that, but I think it was in the testimony.
Just want to know how alarmed I should be at this increase in disconnects.
That's a good question. The other one I want to check, I heard some information in all that, property tax delinquencies are on the rise. That's another one I want to watch.
BPR, but done.
Yeah.
Hancock, I
Bigger, I think.
Yeah.
think.
The really small towns will only take two and, yeah. So, I'm not surprised,
Yeah.
It's not.
but not a happy thought either. Okay, so in this one, we will all read the report and then we'll decide what we're gonna do with it.
All right, well.
I don't remember that on our list of reports.
Is it posted somewhere?
I can add it as well. If you want.
Or their committee.
We'll get it as soon as Charlotte gets it.
Usually these things go to you and April, so I don't know.
We very seldom ask, so if somebody forgot to put us on.
Yeah.
we don't get them, but that sounds like something that might have, I don't remember going through here.
Well, it was December 1st, so you guys weren't even here.
But I don't remember any request for a report or a discussion about that issue going.
Sure it came up at some point, but a lot of stuff on here.
Yeah. Okay, so. Committee. Any more questions? If not.
There's free ice cream.
Where do you
You
think I'm
have
about to
10
go?
minutes to get back